Hello, everyone. My name is CJ Game the Gamer. This is more so mainly for the Samurai vs. Zombies modding community, but this is also going to be a tutorial for anyone who wants to try and mod Samurai vs. Zombies, and if they want to try and bring in the Dungeons and Defenders characters into their mods. I have been trying to do this for days on end, and I was like so not frustrated, but I was so annoyed that I could not get them to work. I've been trying to do everything properly, and then a friend of mine, not saying who, but he almost gave me an inspiration of using a separate folder. And so I was like, what if I took the animations and put them in a separate folder outside of Unity and put the animations inside the actual characters for the animations and just change the numbers around? So let's get into the video and you will see what I'm talking about. So obviously I have this folder. I tried to I tried to decompile it so then I can actually see how the actual developers, or in this case Glue Mobile, actually made the game, of like what they did for the animations, but then I actually figured it out on my own of how they actually did it. But yeah, so let's go to characters. Let's try the let's try the Golem. We'll try the Golem. So, you probably can see, before I do anything. Wait, what? Huh? Hard? Interesting. Anyway. But, here is the issue. So you're probably wondering, okay, it looks good. It looks just fine. So then you go to the animation, the anim tags, and you're like, uh-oh, they're not the same. What am I supposed to do? They're not going to work. What am I supposed to do? So what you're actually supposed to do is you're going to come here. You're going to come here. And you're going to find whatever character you chose. In this case, I chose the Golem. And then you're going to create a new folder. And then you're going to call it whatever you want. You can call it Anim for character, whatever. I'm just going to call it Anim. Now, when you go back into Unity, it's not actually going to be there. And you're going to be like, what am I supposed to do about it? How can I get it to work? So what you do is you drag this folder in there, and it actually keeps it there. And what's best about this is that it also keeps it in here too. And so now what you do here, I don't know if I can really show my screen, but what you're going to do here is you're going to click on the animation, and then you will drag it into the animations folder. So you're going to be doing that with every single one of them. You'll be, and as you can see, it's slowly removing them. And you will see here in just a minute why we're doing this. So I'm going to speed this up. Okay, so now I'm back. So now at this point you should have the animations inside your anim folder. So now what you want to do is you will want to go back to the Golem. So let's type in Golem. You can choose whatever one you want. Now you go back to your anim folder inside your project tab or inspector. And then what you will want to do here is you will want to press Shift and click on the bottom. Well, first off, you want to click the top animation, press Shift, and click on the walk animation, and that'll highlight every single one of them. Now, simply just drag it into the game. Now you have it there as well as in here. So in case you did something wrong, you can just easily have it in here. Anyway, and now what you do is you remove the numbers, because, and I will tell you here in just a minute as to why, but you just remove the numbers like how I'm doing. There you go. And now you're probably going to wonder, why did you do that? Well, the reason why is because the anim tags have to be exactly the same as the normal animations. Because if it's not the same, it will not work. So now we can put the animations back to where they were. And now this is where the other part comes into play, which I already know, which I've done so many times, but I'm going to explain it to you. But if you guys, but this is going to be the part where another person made a video on it, on how to do it as well. I'll leave the link down in the description below to his video. But so you'll be able to see mine. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to want to get the farmer or whatever prefab you want to do. Now you're probably wondering, oh, I have to put all this on here. No, you actually don't have to do that. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Anyway, and then what you do is you click this arrow right here, the farmer. Click on the farmer. Remove the farmer, and it's going to say this action will break the prefab instance. Are you sure you wish to continue? Click continue, and now you'll be able to drag the golem into the farmer prefab. And now you can change the name to PF Golem or Golem. I cannot spell Golem for the life of me. Anyway, but yeah. So now what you're going to do is you're going to drag this where it says missing animation. Drag that. Boop. There you go. And now one simple way you can actually do it without having to click back onto the prefab is by locking. By clicking this lock, you can lock it. So now we're going to go back to the golem. And now where it says the anim tags, click on that. And what you're going to do is you will now put in the anim tags for the golem. And then if there's more, just add whatever more you can do. So, this is actually going to be the hard part. Because if it doesn't have the... So where it says melee weapon, that's only if a unit is using a weapon of some kind. So, since the golem doesn't use any weapons, we're going to take that out. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to find the golem. And so this one's going to be the skeleton. Okay, maybe not. So we're going to do skeleton, and then the head is going to be the head. Then the body is just going to be the skeleton. And then the skeleton. And then that is basically about it. And then you put the prefab into your characters. Now, you probably will want to click this because it's going to... This is where you get to play with what is called a tagged animation. So where it says deliver attack, that's what's going to happen. Is that it's going to call the model to do the animation. So like another example here for die would be on die melt done, and then on anim done. Or then for like another example, walk. They don't have this one doesn't really have much sounds to them. But that's basically what that really is. And then you can come here. This is just for testing purposes for the spider eye, but I'm just going to make one. Let's just call him. We're gonna call him Gollum. So now, what we're going to do, let's say 8,000 health, and the melee damage is going to be 500. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy the PF Gollum, double check, see if it's in there. There he is. So then we're going to do that. And now, where it says prefab characters / whatever, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen when you don't have them in there. But so now, since we put it in there, he will show up. And I think I messed something up here. Yes, I did. So this is actually something you will want to do. You will want to make them 100, and you'll see, and I'll show you here in just a minute as to why you're gonna want to do that. So you can see that I forgot to put in the golem because I am a dumbass. Okay. So do I have wave 1? No, I don't. Okay. So this is just all part of the show, by the way. But yeah. So change this to Gollum. So basically what's going to be happening, which you'll see here in just a minute. So you're probably wondering, oh, he didn't actually spawn in. You are actually very wrong. He did spawn in, but he's very minuscule. He is very tiny. He is so tiny. But there he is. So now, what you're going to do is what you saw me do here. Is you're going to want to zero this out. Zero the model out to 0, 0, 0. And then you're going to want to make the prefab 100. And now, what you're going to do, this is actually going to be very interesting for you guys, but So once you delete it, you're like, oh no, the model's gone. What happened? Actually, the model is still there. But even though it says it's red, you can easily re-drag it down here. And now he should be normal size. So now he should be big enough for you to see. And there he is. He is now in your game. So now we can look at the animations and see how the animations look. I gotta change the sounds and whatnot, but yeah. Since he uses the farmer sounds. But there you go. But there you go. So that's basically all that there is. Now I will show you, for example, say for example I did this. Say for example I did this and I did this. So what's going to happen here is that it's going to say the object you want to initiate is null. And the reason why is because the prefab is trying to look at the characters and trying to see if the golem is in there. But what you would have to do is, in this case, you would have to do exported project, assets, resources, characters, golem, and then it's going to read that, and then it'll work. So that's a tip in mind. But other than that, that is really all there is for this tutorial. For this tutorial. I hope it helped people, and I hope it helped the Samurai vs Zombies modding community. This is mainly towards you guys, so then you guys can know how I did it. I wanted you guys to learn how to do it on your own, but then I was like, I might make a video on it, so I did. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you smash the like button, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that post notification so you guys can know when I post a new video. And we'll see y'all in my next one. Goodbye.